Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Tons of new content today. We got a new team of the week. We got a ton of new prime times, as well as one of the bigger play of the year cards. We're going to break all that down like always. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. If you do watch me daily, I would appreciate it. And give the video a like if you did enjoy it. It helps me out a lot with the YouTube algorithm and all that. All right, guys, let's get into all of the new content. All right, we'll start first with the Impact Team of the Week players. And we'll start with the 92 Jonathan Huberdeau. So he gets another big upgrade, Gladiator, booming shot. So his speed is in the 90s. This is becoming one of the better left-handed winger cards. Kind of under the radar. Obviously, his X Factor wasn't one of the popular ones early, but now he's over 90 skating. His shot is in the mid-90s. Hand stats are in the high 90s. If you get booming shot and Gladiator activated on this card, his body checking also goes up to 88. Definitely a decent card for sure. One I'd look out for because his price might drop a little bit just due to the fact that these cards aren't used in sets, but definitely a good pull if you're able to get one. Brayden Point now also jumps up to 90 overall. Booming shot as well as Thief. 90 speed, 92 acceleration, and his agility can almost get maxed out. He's still among the smaller players, so it is tough because, again, you kind of need him to have a lot of speed to use him effectively. I've hated his build. I've used him early on in the year. Does have gold tape to tape on this one, which isn't bad at all. Shot in the mid-90s. Like, this is a decent card. I'd probably look to sell if I did pack him, though, and I wouldn't really be interested in trying to acquire him because there's just... I'd rather have Matthew Barzal if you're looking at a right-handed winger. Matthew TKACHUK moves up to a 91 with workhorse as well as buzzing. Speed up to 88, acceleration to 89. And it's just, I get a lot of questions about Matthew TKACHUK, like why does everyone hate on his card? And it's just because it's like the opposite of Brad Marchand. Like, while he's got great size at 6'2", his skating is just so low, and we'll talk about that in the X Factor section. His shot is great, but he's just going to feel awfully sluggish, and that's with synergies activated. So I'm still out on Matthew TKACHUK cards. I wish they would just give him a little bit better skating. But defensively, he's great. If his face-off rating got a little bit higher, you could almost use him at center because he's a decent center build. The 88 MIKA ZIBANEJAD with Magician as well as Heart and Soul. Not going to look to activate that, however. 90 speed, 90 acceleration, 90 agility. We're shooting in the high 80s. ZIBANEJAD's shots are kind of low in comparison to some of his other cards as well. Just a lot of competition, though. Same thing among right-handed wingers at 88 overall. Like, you could go after Stamkos, you can go after Barzal. A lot of options there, even Eichel. So just not really one I'm super excited about either. And he is a centerman. Face-offs are kind of low. Not going to want to use him there. So just keep that in mind. But, his X Factor, we'll take a look at that in a little bit. KREIDER gets workhorse and magician. 6'3", great size, obviously. 89 speed, 89 acceleration, and 88 agility. So he's going to play a bit stiffer. I'd rather have ZIBANEJAD in comparison. I like the size on him, but wings, you really don't need to have these giant guys on the wing unless they've got exceptional balance or a good shot, and there's just not a lot here with this left-handed KREIDER. On to the bigger defenseman, we've got the 90 John CARLSON, and CARLSON cards have been phenomenal so far. We'll take a look at his X Factor in a little bit. He's got Spark as well as Light the Lamp, and 90 acceleration, 89 speed, a good shot, great body checking, good defensive stats at 6'3", definitely a good option here. And he has tape to tape, which is a nice synergy for you, or a superstar ability for you. Really good card here if you don't have any X Factors or a master set defenseman. This would be a good option for you for sure. We also got the 90 Dougie Hamilton, comes with Magician, Like the Lamp. Same situation. I would much rather have Dougie Hamilton than CARLSON because he's just much bigger and basically the same skating stats. In reverse, not really big on that one, but the gold tape to tape, if he is going to be your first line defenseman, that might be an option for you. I probably wouldn't activate that one though, but Dougie Hamilton cards have been absolutely phenomenal and his X Factor is really, really good. And then in net, we've got the 88 Thatcher, DEMKO, and DEMKO cards have actually been pretty good in Hockey Ultimate Team. 73 aggression with 90 glove low and 89 glove high, and as silver post-to-post. This might be one of the cheaper, higher-rated goaltenders that you could use on your team. However, the base price is going to be around 35 to 40K because he is an 88 overall. I don't know if I'd pay that, but it would be an alternative to something like the X Factor price or all those other high overall goaltenders. Moving on to the prime times today. We've got Wingman and Buzzing on Troy Terry as well as Applesauce. Only 6 foot. His shot is half decent, but again, you're going to have to pay the bare minimum price of about 40K. just really not worth it. I would use him in a Team of the Year set or sell him, but he's getting up there. Johnny Gaudreau gets an 89 overall, 5'9", with booming shot as well as gladiator. He does have buzzing as well, so I'd probably look to activate that, because even with booming shot and gladiator activated, his body checking is so low that it's really not going to make an impact at all anyways. So he could get 95 speed, 94 acceleration, and almost max agility and decent shooting as well. I would much rather have, like, let's say the base Connor McDavid, but after that, this is a decent card, and 40k, 95 speed is just not available outside of like Duchesne, Gretzky, those kind of cards. So there is definitely value here, and it depends what he's going for. But if it's around the base price for 89s, it probably won't be. Like 70k, 60, 53, 49. He is dropping. If he gets to around 45 or 40 to 45, that's a decent deal. Then we've got the 90 Kyle Connor with Magician and Workhorse, as well as Light the Lamp. So Workhorse would get him up to 92 acceleration, 90 speed. Wrist shots at 95, powers at 90, and good hand stats all above 92. Defensively, he's got decent defensive awareness and stick checking. This is probably an underrated one, but decent for sure. I'm curious to see what he would go for in the auction house, because his speed isn't as high. Like, same price as Gaudreau, I'd much rather have Kyle Connor in all honesty, just because I like the size a lot more. But again, that 95 speed, if you have buzzing activated, is built a little bit different. If he gets around to the bare minimum price, I mean, a 90 overall card for 40 to 45k is a decent value no matter what. Then we've got the 93 Nathan MacKinnon with booming shot and Light the Lamp. Phenomenal card. MacKinnon cards now, no matter what, are going to be endgame ones, so if you get one untradeable, you can use them for basically the rest of the year if you don't have his X Factor. 94 speed, 94 acceleration, max agility, 95 balance, shot in the high 90s, hand stats almost maxed, and with booming shot activated, you can get his body checking up to 89. Defensively, he's got 93 defensive awareness, 95 stick checking, and gold tape to tape. This is one of the best right-handed wingers you can get in the game, and definitely one that you're going to watch out for the rest of the season. And then lastly, we've got the 90 CALE MAKAR, play of the year for that unbelievable move that he did in the overtime yesterday. Kirby Dach got absolutely obliterated. Booming shot gladiator, interesting combo, because I've mentioned this about Fox. Last year, CALE MAKAR's card was so good because he had body checking attributes or synergies for him. 94 speed, 94 acceleration, 99 agility, a decent shot for defensemen, deking and passing puck control, 95. Body checking gets up to 88. Defensively, he's got decent defensive awareness at 92, stick checking at 94, and then he's got elite edges. I'm not huge on putting it on your defenseman, just because you don't want to be dancing around to the point a lot, but he does have the spinorama as well, which is kind of funny, but still, a very good right-handed defenseman just for the speed alone. All right, taking a look at the upgraded X Factors as well. Nathan MacKinnon going to 93 is huge because he unlocks Spark, which means his acceleration goes up to 96. His body checking is a plus 10 if you have Gladiator and Booming Shot activated, which is absolutely wild to me. This is one of the best right-handed wingers in the game. I did my rankings of forwards, and he was left off of it. Just barely. He was the 5th option, in my opinion. This shoots him up to about 2nd or 3rd, in my opinion, easily, just because of that Spark synergy being added. That's a huge upgrade for him, and one you're definitely going to want to do. I'm going to do it after this video. Dougie Hamilton as well, one of the best X Factors for the rest of the game. We've talked about this. He gets his extra synergy as well when you get him up to 90 overall, which is Gladiator huge because his body checking is something that he lacked. That's going to be in the 90s. His speed's 91, acceleration 90, good slap shot power, stick checking, defensive awareness is awesome. Not huge on any of his abilities, but yeah, 6'6" with 91 speed. It's a right-handed version of Victor Hedman. One of the cards that you should be looking out for the rest of the game. I've talked about X Factors, and a lot of the mediocre ones really not worth trying to get anymore. Dougie Hamilton is one you're going to want to go out and get. HUBERDEAU up to 92 as well. He unlocks Distributor, which is interesting because now his speed is up at 93, which is nice. Booming shot can get his body checking up a little bit higher as well, and agility maxed out. I'm still not a huge fan of his abilities, however, but now he's starting to become a really interesting left-handed winger option for you as well. You could put Thief on him, and it gets his face-off rating up to 80, as well as defensive awareness into the basically maxed out, which you could play him at center if you are good on face faceoffs, which would be a pretty good option for you as well at 6'1". But a really, really good card here for anyone that has the untradeable HUBERDEAU. I don't think I would go out and buy him because the collectibles are starting to rack up here. I mean, you're going to need 9 to go from 90 to 92, which is an extreme cost. But if you are someone who gets a lot from Hut Champ, something like that, this is a pretty good card now. Brayden Point up to 90 as well. Does get buzzing, which does make him a little interesting, but still, 91 speed, 92 acceleration at 5'10". There's just so many better options among right-handed wingers. You could play him at center, but I would never want to play someone 5'10" at center. Just a very big liability, especially when his body checking is 82. He's got to defend one of the most important parts of the ice, and just wouldn't trust it there. Taking a look at CALE MAKAR's X Factor as well. He gets Wingman at tier 3 or tier 12 here as well, which is huge. Does have Gladiator and Booming Shot that you can get, so his body checking goes up to 88. Acceleration 96, speed 94. Like I said, there is just not very many defensemen that have that kind of speed. It's tough. Like, if you have CALE MAKAR's X Factor, at this point now with what happened here, I probably would not make Fox. Just because Fox will go up in as the year goes along, and he's just better statistically. But if you've already got a CALE MAKAR type, I don't know how many you would want on your team because there are so many bigger right-handed defensemen. Like, I wouldn't want CALE MAKAR and Fox on the same team. I'd want one of them. So if you've already got the X Factor MAKAR, upgrade him instead of getting Fox. That would just be what I would recommend. John CARLSON also goes up to 90. He unlocks Gladiator at his tier 12 and does come with Distributor, obviously, so he's got 91 speed. Very close to Dougie Hamilton, but if you're going to choose between the two, it's obviously Dougie Hamilton because he is 6'6". Again, his ability is not really anything that you want to look to activate, but still one of the best right-handed defensemen in the game and will be for the remainder of the year. But if you're going to choose between, it's Hamilton over him. Connor now up to a 90 overall, gets Thief at his tier 12, which I don't think you'd want to activate. Booming Shot is nice on this card because he has a little bit lower body checking, and then obviously you'd want to go Fly the Zone, so 92 speed, 90 acceleration. So his other option would be Magician, which really, it would max out his agility, deking, and puck control, basically. A really nice left-handed winger card, but this is one of those ones where it's like kind of mediocre, where I don't know if I would want to invest all of the coins and collectibles now on Kyle Connor as opposed to saving them for one of the bigger guys. And then lastly, we've got the Matthew Tkachuk upgrade, has Fly the Zone and gets bombarded at tier 12, and still, just until he gets like a second skating synergy slot, just really not going to be worth it at all. Again, you're getting up to the point where each upgrade is costing 3 power-up collectibles, and I just don't see how that's worth it at all. So this is still a pass for me. If he got, you put Thief on him, he's got 75 on the draw. If you're really good at face-offs, you could get away with that and play him at center, but outside of that, I'm just not really interested in him. All right, guys, so that is going to do it for today's content. Let me know what you think in the comments sections down below, and I will see you tomorrow. Have a good one.